I literally look like a pineapple. So just for some context, I just woke up a little while ago. It's Saturday morning, like 10ish. And I guess I've been up for a little while. It doesn't matter. Basically, I was doing that thing where, like, the planes. I literally have pineapple hair right now. I was doing that thing where in the morning I get up and one of the first things I do is I read comments, and I just go through everything in my head, and I'm like literally sitting there like having a conversation with myself. And I was like, I might as well just turn on the camera. Yeah, so you'll have to excuse the pineapple hair. It's fine. So I was thinking about, I mentioned this in one of the videos. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was like the flaws one. First, let me just say thank you to everyone, because a lot of the comments that you guys have been leaving have been like legit, like, I mean, publishable papers. And it's been so interesting to read and get people's different perspectives, because there have been a lot of comments that have presented perspectives or different ways of looking at things that I hadn't considered, and just kind of shedding more light on those things. Anyway, sorry. So I wanted to, I've been thinking about obviously aging is like a topic that I want to talk about a lot here, and I was watching Jamie Genevieve. If you don't know her, she's like a bomb-ass makeup artist, Scottish makeup artist. She's got the coolest accent. Anyway, I was watching I think her most recent makeup tutorial, and she was talking about how she has this like little dimple in the corner of her eye, and she has had Botox in the past, and I know that she got Botox in that area to prevent like the squinting, crow's feet and shit. And she said that the dimple was basically a result. I believe she asked her Botox technician, and the dimple was a result of basically that muscle, like, wasting away, her words. So basically that muscle, like, having Botox over time. Botox, if you don't know, basically like paralyzes the muscle to an extent, depending on like how much you get, but that's like the point, is that it's like weakening that muscle in your face so that you're not like creasing your skin constantly. And people use it as a preventative treatment for wrinkles. The idea is you paralyze that muscle, just using that word, by freezing that muscle, you are preventing your face from creasing, which causes wrinkles over time. Okay, so that makes sense. And if you just think about it that way, if you just hear it that way, you're like, that makes sense, like it's preventative, it helps prevent wrinkles. But then it's like, okay, but think about you're literally paralyzing muscles in your face to prevent wrinkles that are inevitable. They're something to happen to literally everyone. We all age, we all get older, and it's literally just a result of us getting older. That's all that it is. It's a physical reflection of that. And I think, I don't even know what I want to say here, because like, I'm not trying to, I was going to say embrace. I'm not trying to like become the cheerleader for like, let's all get wrinkly and old. Like, I don't want to be super wrinkly. Like, I love makeup, and I know that over time, as I get older, my skin loses moisture, and I need some coffee. It loses moisture and it loses elasticity, and it becomes like saggier, it becomes wrinkly, it becomes crepey over time. Like, it's this slow process that happens just as a result of aging, right? And I know that like it gets harder to wear like glam makeup when your skin is drier, crepier, wrinklier, whatever. And I, that's my shit, man. I love to rock a smoky eye. I recently did, I don't know when this video is going up, but I recently uploaded a video on my beauty channel using Jamie's brand, actually, of just like this bomb ass like glam warm smoky eye, and I was like, yes. And I just, the thought of being reaching an age where I feel like I can't do that, or I can't like get away with that, you know? I don't know. It's like this, it's this, it's this battle between, like, fuck it, who cares? Like, at any age, you can wear whatever the fuck you want. Like, do what you want. Do what makes you happy or you're comfortable in, and like, fuck what other people think. Like, who cares? And also, I don't know, there's like a certain point where you're like, yeah, but I don't, like, I want to feel comfortable, but I don't feel comfortable because I've now, if we're taking aging, I've got these wrinkles and I don't feel like I can wear those things, even though like I really want to. And I know that I would feel like, I don't know, it's like this balance between like feeling confident and comfortable and feeling the complete opposite. And I don't know if that's because of like how you're viewing it. I'm totally getting off topic right now. This one's going to be probably long because my mind is running like a million miles a minute, and all I've had is coffee. But I don't know, when it comes to like things like Botox, like specifically Botox, it's like become this preventative treatment for young people, right? Like young people, like people are saying like, oh, well, the younger you do it, you know, you're preventing yourself from wrinkling over time. So it's like, it's literally thought of as like a preventative measure. Because like when you're old and you already have the wrinkles and you do Botox, it's like, okay, well, it's going to freeze that muscle, but you already have the wrinkles, right? Okay, so that's the like theory behind it. But when I was watching Jamie's video and she pointed out that dimple, it was immediately, I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been worried about this whole time. Because I don't think, just, I don't know when this video is going up, but I do have a really extensive video about my under eye filler experience and how that experience has kind of like brought me to this point where I'm just like annoyingly purist about like aging and like all this shit. Like not 100% as far as like makeup and all of that stuff. But I'm kind of like on this journey where I'm going more toward like with literally everything in my life. Again, I'm not 100% there, not even close to 100% there, but I'm on this journey of like the food that I eat should be natural, like it should be clean. The skincare that I use should be clean, like it should be as natural as possible. Makeup is tough, but I'm sort of starting to research that. I don't want to put chemicals in my face. Like, I don't want to feel like I have to. I did this interview with this brand called 1999 a little while ago. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. It was like a Zoom interview, and it ended up being transcribed. So I sound like this. I'm like all over the place. So if you're reading it, it's a little hectic. But if I can find it, I will link it down below. And we discussed aging and its view in the beauty community, not just the beauty community, but just like the world. Like, I guess for women specifically. And we talked about things like Botox, and one of the things that that we discussed was the fact that like I don't want to feel like I'm missing out. Like I don't want to feel like other people are doing it and they're getting amazing results and they're gonna look fucking great when they're like tasteful, I guess, when they're like 60, and if I don't do it, am I just gonna look like a haggard? You know what I mean? Like, am I just gonna look like so old? So it's like this, it's FOMO, I guess, kind of. Because for whatever reason, we're all really freaked out. Sorry, I'm playing with my notebook. We're all really freaked out about like showing signs of aging. And on the flip side, another reason that I've been thinking about this so much is because I've had the opportunity to see people evolve as they've gotten work done. And just before I like say any more, I just want to say this isn't coming from like this isn't a judgmental place where I'm like, you shouldn't do anything. I think no matter what you do, if you get breast implants, if you get a nose job, if you get lip filler, if you get Botox, any of those things, that's your decision, that's your life. If it makes you feel better, I think you should do it. I personally think the best way to handle those things is do it because you want to do it. Don't do it if your influence is I feel like I have to do this because of other people, because other people are doing it and I don't want to miss out or something like that. Does that make sense? It's probably always kind of a combination. Anyway, I've seen a lot of people personally and also like online go from being like just who they are to getting Botox, getting fillers, getting breast implants, and making all of these changes to themselves, these artificial changes. And I don't know exactly how they feel 100%. I guess it makes them feel better about themselves. But I know from as a viewer, as a person on the outside, I miss the old them. And I know that like I've complained about certain features of mine before. Like I've complained about like how I think I have a crooked nose, right? And a long time ago I discussed like, I don't know, I've always thought about trying lip fillers, you know? I've said that before, and I know that I've had so many people be like, please don't ever do anything to your face. Like, please don't. And obviously like I did the under eye filler, and at the time I really wanted to do it. And I did it, and it ended up being a bitch. Highly recommend that video. I'll tag it somewhere, like up here or down below or whatever, if it's out. And I'm glad that I did do it, because it brought me to this point where I was like, okay, I'm all set on that shit, you know? Because the things that they say are not invasive. When they say something's not invasive, a non-invasive like anti-aging treatment or whatever you want to call it, it's all they mean is you're not going under for surgery. It's still invasive. You're still doing some shit to your face. Like Botox, you're literally injecting your face with chemicals that are paralyzing the muscle. And under eye filler, you know, it was this whole thing about like, oh well, it's hyaluronic acid, your body breaks it down naturally, and to an extent that might be true, but that shit can move around your face. It's very hard to detect if it's moved, if it's all gone. I got it dissolved, and I honestly, I think I still have some in here. So basically all of this is just, I mean, obviously I want to get, I don't know, it's tough. It's a tough topic because I feel like there are people who are very much on either side. I'm curious where you are and what your opinions of it are. Like I said, I'm moving much more towards like, I'm not just going to give up on and be like, I'm embracing wrinkles 100%. Like I do things to try and prevent them, but they're very much non-invasive. I'm focusing on skincare. I can't say that I will never do anything, you know? Like, I don't know how I'm going to feel when I'm 45, 60. Like, I don't know. I can't say right now that I would never do something. I can say that right now my focus is to, you know, do what I can that's natural, do what I can that's like taking care of my skin, eating well, drinking water, you know, being active, all the like very basic ways that we take care of ourselves, and just trying to be like natural. I don't know how else to say it, but I don't want to do all those fake things, and I don't want to feel like I have to, and I'm trying to fight feeling like I should, or feeling like I'm missing out in some way, especially when it comes to Botox. It really scares me. And I'm very glad that I've come to this conclusion only having done like the under eye filler, because that was enough. Like, that was enough for me to go through, you know? It's funny because it was definitely like a part of this sort of confidence journey. Like, I was so insecure about my dark under eyes and having hollow under eyes, and just I really hated them. And then I remember I went and got the filler, and it filled in this area a little bit, and like that day I went outside and was just like in public with absolutely no makeup on, and that's something that I like hadn't done before. ever, really. Like maybe on occasion, but I would probably be wearing sunglasses or something. And then over this like past 2-year period, having that volume there just made me feel a lot more comfortable without makeup on in public. And it caught me, and I started doing that more. I started being, just out and about and having people see me without any makeup on. And as the filler started to dissolve, and I went on this like journey back to like my regular face, I guess. I'm trying to think. I think it was when I went to the doctor and I finally got it like professionally dissolved, because it had started like dissolving on its own, I believe. I mean, the volume was going down. I don't believe it moved around my face. I'm not entirely sure. Who knows? But once I got it professionally dissolved and it was all gone, that was a pretty quick process. Maybe a couple days. I remember looking at my face and being like, oh, I like this so much better. And the amount of people on my beauty channel who were like, what have you done? Your dark circles look so much better. I was like, I never would have thought that they would look better after I got the filler dissolved. Crazy. Anyway, my whole point about this is like, was this basically a conversation that I wish that I had or that I'd heard when I was younger? Because I do remember like wishing that, like when I was like 18, I was like, oh, the one thing I would have done is I would get a nose job. What? Because my nose is like a little, like I have a bump in my nose and it goes like, it leans left a little more. I would get a nose job? Like why? And then that kind of went away and I was like, you know what? I kind of like my nose. And then I was like, oh, I have to get under eye filler. Like I hate my dark circles. I hate my hollow under eyes. Like I hate it so much. That one I actually ended up going through. And then after all of that, I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? I actually kind of like them. And I just think that that's like an important thing to tell people, because I think like, especially young people today with filters and social media and all this shit, and surgeries. I mean, like the amount of people who I know who have had nose jobs is unreal, who've had filler, any of that stuff. And again, I'm not trying to make it out like those people are bad because they did it or what they're doing, or by doing it that they're damaging other people. But I kind of think that that's overall, without realizing it, I think that is what's happening. Like all of this stuff kind of comes back to when I'm talking about social media, when I'm talking about surgery, if I'm talking about Botox, if I'm talking about filters, all of that stuff comes back to making other people feel like they can't just be themselves. I received a comment recently from one of you saying that I should do these videos with makeup on and that I don't have to do them without makeup on to be authentic. And I was like, so offended by that because number one, this wasn't like a conscious thing initially. When I first started this channel, I filmed these videos typically like in the morning before I film my beauty videos, because in the morning is when my mind is going and I'm fresh on, like literally today I wasn't planning on filming this. This was not an idea. Clearly I was not planning on filming this, but this is just like the time that I'm thinking about these things, and it's a lot more comfortable for me to sit down and film this right now when I'm fresh in it, and I don't want to sit down and do a full face of makeup and sit down and talk to you. When I'm having these conversations in real life with friends or family, this is what I look like, like 100%, okay? I've got the pineapple hair. I've got smudges all over my glasses. I have my pajamas on with cat hair everywhere, all right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the internet has become this thing where you're not seeing real life, because who wants to share all the like, who wants to share this? Like I'm not like actively wanting to. But yeah, I guess I'm just moving towards this thing where it's like Like, who gives a fuck? Like, why should I give a fuck? And it's funny because my whole life I've always admired people who had that attitude, because I was very shy and insecure, and I gave a fuck. Like, I gave so many fucks. My battery is about to die. I guess I should switch it out. It's like legit about to die. I'm gonna switch it. What was I saying? So I'm very attracted to people who have that, like, I don't give a fuck attitude, and they're just completely confident in themselves. On my beauty channel, a lot of the time, because I'm not deeply personal, I don't share absolutely. I mean, I guess this channel is kind of becoming that, where I'm like sharing personal things, but it's more, I'm very selective with what I share. I'm not constantly on Instagram stories, or I was gonna say Snapchat, that's so old. I don't know, whatever. I'm not like the vlogging type. I don't tell you everything that's going on in my life, and I never will be. The day that I'm doing daily vlogs, just unsubscribe, okay? Because it's over. But yeah, on my beauty channel, you guys ask a lot about my, like, you want me to talk about my boyfriend and like our relationship, and you ask a lot of questions. One of the things that I will tell you is that one of the main things that attracted me to him was he is anti-vein. Like, I don't think he has a vein bone in his body. Maybe it's like this big. And if you talk to him, he emanates comfortability in his own skin, and not a don't give a fuck attitude, because that sounds like it comes off as like a dick, because he's absolutely not that, but very, very much just like not trying to impress anyone. No need to impress anyone. Like, who am I trying to impress? Does that make sense? And that, I've always been attracted to people like that. Because I've always had kind of a hard time doing it myself. And I feel like I'm finally reaching that point where I'm like, why? Like, why do I have a hard time doing that? This all started with Botox. But I mean, I feel like you can probably tell that, I mean, like, it's been a topic that's been on my mind for a really long time, and it's been like very, sort of a struggle to, I don't know, it's been like this weird struggle where I'm like, I don't want to feel like I have to do these things, but I also don't want to feel like I'm missing out. Or I don't want to feel like everyone else is doing it and I'm not. But then on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, but everybody else is doing it, so like, fuck that. Very hipster attitude. I've always been kind of a hipster in that way. They're like, oh, everybody likes this thing. Fuck that. I'm not into it, you know? I don't even know how to, what do you think? Like, do you agree with me? I don't know. Like, if you're younger, I would love to know, like, your age, if you're comfortable sharing it, obviously, like your age and like where you are with this. Like if you're like 16 and you're watching this, have you considered like Botox and getting injections and stuff like that? I just remember like girls in my high school when we were like 17 being like saying like, I can't wait until I can get breast implants. They probably said like fake titties. And that's just wild to me. My advice to you would be, you feel like that now, but like maybe you won't. Maybe you'll make that decision and you'll fucking love it, and it'll be amazing, and it'll change your life, and it'll give you that confidence boost, and it'll be great. But maybe you'll do it, and then a couple years later, you'll seriously regret it. I mean, that is a thing, you know? Like, I know that I can't say that I completely regret getting filler, because it brought me to this point. It brought me to this conclusion, but like, it was a bitch, you know? It cost me a fuckload of money, and I ultimately was never happy with the results. I'm like, my armpits are getting sweaty from this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I just want to like hear, like, if you're older, have you done these things, and you want to impart some wisdom on the youngins, myself included, because I think we all need reminders. And yeah, I mean, honestly, like, the last thing that I would just want to leave you guys with is, none of these are tiny decisions. They really aren't. they're really, really not. Like even something that seems like it's a small decision, it's not. One of the other things that I just really wanted to bring up very quickly about Botox, since that was like the thing that started this off, was like how long has this been around? How long have we been doing this? And consider like scientific studies need to be done on what certain things and how they affect the body over time. Like, do we have enough data to be like, this shit's safe? The fact that like Jamie was saying that she has this little dimple on the corner of her eye from getting Botox there, she's young. I mean, like, I don't know exactly how old she is. I'm assuming we're around the same age. I'm 30. You know, I don't know how much Botox she was getting in that area, but she's still young. I mean, that like a muscle wasting away in your face doesn't seem like a small problem. I'm not trying to talk shit about her at all. I think she's fucking awesome. Just to make that very clear. It was just an example of something that like she spoke about it freely in her video. So I wanted to bring that up because it's the first example that I've heard from someone young having that kind of like an experience with it. Because like I said, people just make it seem like it's so like safe. And it's like not a big deal to like go into some med spa and get like lip filler or under eye filler or whatever. And it seems like, I don't know, I know of a lot of people. If you guys know Karen, I Love Sada E on YouTube, Instagram, she got filler for like a long time, like lip filler, and she ended up getting it dissolved. And I don't believe she's gotten any more in her I'm pretty sure she got it all dissolved from her upper lip. I don't know if she got it dissolved from like both her lips or what. It was pretty bad. She had like a lot of scar tissue buildup, and she talks about how she got like basically to a point where she was like addicted to it and like was never really satisfied. And she has beautiful lips, like absolutely beautiful. After she got her lip filler dissolved, I was like, wow, perfect lips, like literally, like they look absolutely stunning. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on a tangent now. I was like gonna sign off, and then I just kept on going. This one's gonna be long, I guess. I feel like this video has become like literally everything that this channel is about. I don't know, I guess that's it. This is just stuff that I wish I had heard when I was younger. So I want to get an idea of like where you guys are, whether or not you disagree with me. If you've had any bad experience, if you had great experiences and you want to like continue doing those things, how you view it, everything, just everything. Leave me your comments. And just since I'm sitting here, these videos are just so much more substantive than my beauty videos, clearly, and the comments that you guys leave are so much more. Like there's just so much there. So it takes me a lot longer to get back to people. But I want you to know that I'm like avidly like reading them at the very least. And then sometimes like someone will bring something up and I'll just like go on this fucking tangent comment back. So just so you know, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Like I think this is so much fun, and these are the kinds of conversations that I think like these are the kinds of conversations that I have with like friends and family, like my closest friends and family, that are so interesting to me. And I think these are conversations that everyone should be having, because you need to be, regardless of this topic, you need to be forced into thinking about it from both ends. And I think that there are probably a lot of people out there who don't necessarily have people in their life or opportunities in their life that facilitate this kind of conversation. So I'm hoping that this can be that. Yeah. Great talk. I feel like I could keep going, but honestly, my armpits are sweating balls right now, and I need more coffee. Okay, great talk. I'm gonna go. Bye.